Hi, I'm John, and this No Painer Explainer will give you 10 tips to proofread your own written documents. Let's take a look. First off, don't rely on your spell checker. They will pick up some errors, but certainly not all. Here's an example. We have an envious track record compared with we have an enviable track record. The second one is correct, but a spell checker wouldn't realise that the first one is wrong because all of the individual words are spelt correctly. Don't rely on your spell checker. When it comes to business writing, it's really important to make clear statements in plain English that avoids the overuse of jargon and to speak the language that your customers will understand. This isn't the most environmentally friendly tip, but if you can, print out your text and proofread it on a piece of paper. To help yourself, you can change the typeface that you use, that's the font, and the size, because that will make it look a little bit different when you're reading it, and you might be more inclined to spot errors that you don't see on screen. Backwards content your read. If you can change the order in which you read the words, you might be more likely to spot an error that you would otherwise have missed. Most people are used to reading their text in silence, but if you can read out loud, you might not spot any errors, but you might realise parts of the text that don't read well, that don't sound right when they come out, and that will give you an opportunity to reword and make things perhaps shorter and clearer. Proofreading needs a lot of concentration, so you have to pick the time of day when you're most alert. For me, that's in the morning after I've had a big cup of tea, but for others, their preferences will differ. Find what works for you and try to proofread only in that time if you can. Rather than trying to proofread everything you see in one go, you could try to break up the task into separate passes. So for example, you'd look through the document checking only the headings, and then you'd go through the whole thing again, checking only the spelling of the body text, and then you'd go through again looking only at lists. That way, by breaking up the task, you can look for specific errors and make sure that you don't miss anything by trying to do the whole thing in one go. A second pair of eyes will always help, so if you can, ask a friend or a work colleague to look through the text for you and see whether they can spot any errors or things that they think are not clear about the text. Keep in mind the law of diminishing returns. If you proofread a document once, you'll find some errors. If you go away and come back and proofread it again, you'll probably find a few more errors. If you do the same process 10 times, you're probably wasting your time. So just bear in mind not to chase perfection and try to proofread a couple of times if you can. If proofreading your own work sounds like too much hassle or you just don't have the time, why not hire a professional editor or proofreader? The Society for Editors and Proofreaders has hundreds of professionals in its directory of editorial services, so hop along to the SFEP website and take a look. So there we go, 10 quick tips for proofreading your own text. Now this stuff is important. If your website and brochures and emails and other literature are full of errors, that's going to have an impact. Your customers might not want to do business with you. That's not good news. So make some time, concentrate on the text and make sure that you find those errors and get rid of them. If you need a hand, drop me a line. Let's have a chat. Speak to you soon. Thanks for watching.